All right, folks, we're back again. I appreciate all of y'all that's taking the time to actually listen to the videos and giving your insight as well. Kind of helps me come up at least with better content. If you like the more in-depth messages that I've been given, just make sure to leave a comment or a like too as well if you don't want to comment. I feel like this has been more of what's helping people out, so give a little bit more breakdown than what I usually do, because I feel that again, when I took a break and still while working with clients, that's what I do with a lot of the clients. We go in depth with the details of what specific area they're having issues in, and I found that that's very successful with breaking old patterns and getting people out of situations or mental ruts that they're stuck in. So it really does help. Anyway, we're talking about why what made a narcissist target you in the first place, right? And why does it seem like you keep attracting these same types of people? Why is that happen like that? What's going on with that situation, right? So I'll say this: when you find yourself repeatedly in a relationship or in involvements, interactions with narcissistic people, it's natural to wonder, why me? That's just the natural thing. Like, why me? Like, why? What's going on? Some people come up and they'll be like, am I the narcissist? And it's like so much confusion. So I think this is going to be beneficial too. But it isn't about blame. It's about understanding how your subconscious mind works and the dynamics that play into it. Right? And so let's just talk about why a narcissist targets you. Well, if you can envision like a plane, right? I'm sure some of you seen nature stuff where you see a lion or a leopard or something, a cheetah in a field crouched down, targeting prey, stalking prey for their next meal, right? Now think about this. Why are they trying to catch their prey? They're doing it for survival. They're trying to survive, right? This is how they replenish themselves. It's just the natural course of how things work in nature. Well, it's no different than with a narcissist. A narcissist, narcissists in general, they're like emotional predators. They're constantly scanning for specific qualities that will meet their needs, right? And there is a main reason that they would gravitate towards you. And this is what you have to understand so that you can in the future avoid running into these types. All right. So a lot of you are empathic. You have a lot of compassion and stuff like that. And if you're naturally empathic, you possess qualities that narcissists find irresistible. Your compassion means you're willing to see the best in people. I'm going to repeat that again. Your compassion and sometimes gullibility, right? Being gullible allows you and makes it so that you're willing to see the best in people, even in those who show you their worst. One more time for the people in the back. These traits and qualities within you makes it so that you are willing to see the best in people, even though they're showing you their worst. So right there is an unbalance dynamic. And even in those who show you their worst, right, you're still accepting, right? And narcissists are profound experts at exploiting this. They're experts at using your kindness as a tool to manipulate and control you without you necessarily knowing right away, but you do see signs. But in the back of your mind, you still want to see the goodness in the person, even though they're showing you signs of manipulation and control. Example, you might have stayed up all night confronting them, right? Or, well, not confronting them, but you were comforting, trying to make them feel okay during some of their worst times, or they might have been in a crisis, only to later realize they never really reciprocated that same energy or whatnot when you needed that support. And a lot of you allow this dynamic to play out, not just with narcissists, but just that's the way you are. Let me tell you, narcissists will pick up on this 10 times quicker than a normal person would. It's like a hawk, a bird of prey in the sky, like an owl can see a mouse in the field from like up to 300-400 feet up in the air. They can spot a mouse in the field. That's how a narcissist can spot your traits and attributes that can be taken advantage of. It sticks out. And yes, it almost is like you have something written across your forehead that says fool, gullible. That's how pronounced these traits are, that you're not aware of how someone else is viewing that. And narcissists are often drawn to high achieving individuals because they can borrow off that success, and they can use that to boost their own image. A lot of you serve as nothing more than just a trophy, a reflection of what they idolize as themselves. And so the whole time you're with them, they're basically living as though they are you. They do have your same accomplishments and achievements. They're not even being realistic in the situation while you are actually together. They're imagining all of that is them. All right? Like you might be really booming in your career, and they constantly brag about your accomplishments and stuff to, as if you notice when they're bragging, it's almost like they're bragging in a sense to where like it's theirs, right? They're bragging like they actually achieved this, but it's your achievements, but they're bragging about it like it's actually theirs, and it belongs to them. Yet they'll turn around and very subtly undermine your confidence in the process. It's the weird dynamic of how it plays out with them. Because see, narcissists, they can sense when you have a deep need for connection, love, or validation. Again, it's like it's on your, like when they see you, like how you interact, they have this unnatural, spooky way of being able to see, ooh, this person, okay, They need companionship. Oh, this person is lacking love. They don't have somebody to really show them love. Oh, this person is lonely. They don't like being lonely. Or this person doesn't really get the validation that they need. So this is what they come in with. And by knowing precisely what it is that you're lacking and what to come in with initially, and they're coming full force like nobody else does. This is what sweeps you up off your feet. See, people talk about love bombing, man. Again, I'm not patting myself on the back, but you got to be able to break this stuff down to where people understand how it develops. So when the narcissist spots, wow, this person, dang, because they're monitoring you, right? They're seeing how you move with people, your family and everything. They're just peeping the scene like, dang, you the one that's people always coming to, and you the one that's always there to help, and you the one that's always giving advice. But I don't see people showing you no love for it. I don't see enough people acknowledging you for it. And on top of that, I see that you're perfectly okay with it. So what if I come in and I drop a heavy dose of validation on you? Yeah, I'm going to hit you with a heavy dose of validation that other people just overlook. They don't do it the way that I'm going to hit you with this validation that's just going to sweep you up off your feet. So when people talk about love bombing, it's not necessarily doing kind gestures, buying you stuff, people just surface with this stuff, with this narcissistic knowledge, man. They're surface. And so when they come hit you with that validation, they're not even spending money on you. They're not taking you out. They're not wooing you. A simple thing of giving you what you really want, but you've learned to just do it out of the goodness of your heart to help others while neglecting yourself. The narcissist comes in and, hey, you know what? I see you doing all this for people. You're such and such a person. You're this, you're that. I'm so glad I have you because you don't meet people like this. And they just pour it on. They're validating you in ways that nobody else has done. Nobody else has acknowledged you in. Oh yes, folks, it's very strong and powerful. Doesn't have to be them narcissists buying you gifts and all of that when you think of love bombing, it's more complex than that. Loneliness. They can see you lonely. Of course, you're going to be like, I ain't lonely. I do things. But in a sense of having a companion, you go work out at the gym at night. Hey, the narcissist is like, hey, I'll go with you. It's like, oh, that'd be nice. I'd like somebody to come work out. Now they're filling certain voids in you that you just kind of overlook. It's no big deal. You deal with it. But where the power play comes in is when that person finds and catches on to that, and they start to plug into that. And now they're being around with you. They're doing things with you. They're having long conversations. They're just coming by and sitting and talking with you, spending time with you, including you in their time and their plans. Now it's filling that void of loneliness. And you're open on that because it's something that you were lacking. Another form of love bombing. Not in the sense of what most people perceive in their minds, right? So if you've been through trauma, loneliness, or a significant life transition, you might exude a subconscious openness at least, that they know how to exploit. Subconsciously. This is why you don't see it coming. This is why it's like you get swept off your feet behind me. You don't know what the hell happened. So like, example, like after a painful breakup, You met someone who seemed to get you, to know you immediately, right? They really understood where you were coming from, could finish the sentence for you. They offered you attention and understanding, right? In a way that you hadn't had from anybody else. Remember, it's always going to be tenfold with the narcissist. It's going to be 10 times stronger. So it's going to be that much more impactful when they do it. But later, they weaponize your vulnerabilities against you. Right? See, narcissists thrive on environments where boundaries are unclear. If you tend to prioritize others' feelings over your own, or feel guilty for saying no, or you might inadvertently allow their behaviors to escalate, the narcissist is monitoring, like that predator in the field, every last bit of your behaviors. Yeah, they're paying attention to all of that. And they're putting together a game plan to capitalize and exploit those weaknesses. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Right? Because they're seeing you let and give exceptions and stuff to people. Because the narcissist doesn't see it as, okay, well, it's a family member, I'm going to let them get away with it. The narcissist sees like, dang, family member or not, you're a fool. You have poor boundaries. You absolutely have poor boundaries. And if you grew up in an environment where love was conditional or inconsistent, you might unconsciously seek familiar dynamics and treatment, or you will be okay with it. And the narcissist knows that as well. So this is why they give you all of this up front, validation and all of these things. And then they turn and become the very thing that others have been doing to you in a very subtle way. And this is why you end up still keeping them around, because it's a familiar playing. They become what a lot of other people have been doing to you that you've accepted. That's the easiest way to get in. Validate you, show you stuff that others haven't. And then they go into the same mode that others been treating you, that you've been okay with. And now they're able to get those same benefits and manipulate and control you. Right? And the narcissist is basically, they're going to mirror these patterns, offering you affection and then withdrawing it, keeping you trapped in a cycle of chasing that approval. Right? For example, you notice similarities between your parents' criticism and how your parents once made you feel not good enough. Right? You see that in the narcissist even. And so sometimes people start to accept that, well, maybe this is just how I am, because here comes this person who was treating me so well at first, but now they're treating me the same as how a lot of other people treat me that I complain about, but yet I still do for them. And this allows the narcissist to have a smooth transition right into your life, right? To have the same amount of control and receive the same amount of benefits. But it's more powerful because they have created that sort of validation and connection to where you now become dependent on them, because they gave it to you at a much higher dose to which you've never had from a person before. which now creates the addiction, which now creates the stronghold that you feel within yourself. Right? And a lot of this comes from, you might feel your value comes from how much you do for others, but you're inadvertently signaling that you're inadvertently signaling that you're willing to tolerate imbalances. Yeah, that's what you're basically saying to the narcissist when they see it is, I'm okay with being unbalanced. I'm okay with one-sidedness. I can deal with one-sidedness. Yeah, I'm able to operate in that. And the narcissist has bore witness to that. They've seen it in you. And many people are drawn to narcissists, the main types. And you think about yourself, you're a fixer type. You like to fix things. You're a fixer person. You like to correct things that's wrong. And they absolutely adore fixers. Right? If you feel fulfilled by helping others heal or solve their problems, you may unknowingly be inviting a narcissist or a person that demands endless support. They're going to keep you in that state because, oh, I found out you're a fixer. Well, I'm going to keep you fixing me. I'm never going to get right for you. I'm always going to have you in a mode of fixing me. All right. A lot of you just lack narcissist awareness, or some of the information you get is not very clearly broken down, just recycled information, and you're not getting a full understanding of how it really works. So if you don't recognize the early signs of narcissistic behavior, you're more likely to fall into their traps. Narcissists are skilled at charm, grandiosity, and mirroring your desires in the early stages. They showered you with compliments, gifts, attention, making you feel like you'd found your soulmate and all of this stuff in the beginning, only for that mask to slip later. And by nature, humans, people, we unconsciously gravitate towards what feels familiar, even if it's painful. I'm going to say that one more time. By nature, we often gravitate towards what feels familiar, even if it's painful. If you've experienced people controlling, people being critical, or emotionally unavailable in relationships in the past, you may unknowingly seek partners to replicate that same dynamic. You feel drawn to someone intense and unpredictable because it mimics the emotional roller coaster you grew up with. If the thought of being alone feels unbearable, you might stay in an unhealthy relationship to avoid facing your own discomfort. Narcissists exploit this all the time. They exploit it by keeping you hooked with cycles of affection and then rejection. Once you understand this, folks, you really understand how it goes down. And you're able to undo a lot of the patterns that keep you stuck. And if you're working with someone who knows how to point these things out and put you on a corrective pattern, you will see instant change. As long as you change the pattern of behaviors, thought cycles, and beliefs. All right. So there, you'll be targeted. And it's because the narcissists see the pattern in you. So the biggest question is, how do you break free? And everybody's going to have a different thing. Some people don't know what it is. But you have to recognize traits within yourself that make you vulnerable to narcissists. Not blaming yourself. I'm not talking about blaming yourself, but to empower yourself. Start noticing, you got to notice red flags. Gaslighting, boundary pushing, all of these things that develop early in relationships. Strengthen your boundaries. It's the next thing. You got to be able to strengthen your boundaries. Heal those unresolved wounds. You got to reassess your core beliefs. Then seeking the guidance and support. Because a lot of this, it really involves having help. Someone knowing how to guide you up out of it. So just to wrap this up, let me see what time I'm at. Going on the 30-minute mark. Didn't want to go that long, but sometimes it takes that long to get the message in, But narcissists target you because, I'll say this, narcissists target you not because, right? It's not because in any way that you're a weak person. Get that through your mind first. It's not because you're weak, but because you possess qualities that they envy and want to exploit for their own comfort and gain. So by understanding these dynamics, you can reclaim your power, you can heal wounds, and you can attract healthier relationships. You don't just have to cut people off and, I'm not talking to anyone. You have to find the right resources, right people, right counseling, right whoever knows how to deal with this to untangle these patterns. Find, identify, and untangle the patterns, and then create an action plan for you to follow to begin breaking the cycle. All right. And so I'll leave you with that. Hope this resonated with a lot of you. Holidays are coming up. I know it gets rough around that time, but I hope I pointed a lot of you in the right direction. Till next time, have a good one.